I think it's just doing the extra 2, 3, 4, 5% of the work that others aren't willing to do. And I also believe that what separates the good from the greats is understanding that the hardest work is mental work. There's a reason why people who work on Wall Street make far more money than people who are digging ditches. It's because everyone equates hard work to physical work. So for my sport, if you ask someone to come in and do an hour and a half long workout and go home sweaty and they're sore, everyone's happy with that. The second you ask someone to sit down and to watch an instructional for an hour and a half or think about why an armbar didn't work for 30 minutes, nobody wants to do that. And so I think that in this life, everyone equates hard work to physical work, but the hardest work is actually the mental work. And so you have to do the physical work just like you have to do the mental work. And I think everyone kind of, especially in combat sports, everyone equates it to being tough, being strong, being all these, everyone's tough at the high levels, everyone's strong at the high levels, everyone has good cardio at the high levels. But the guys who are willing to sit down for that extra 2, 3, 4, 5%, that little extra time and think about, okay, why does this work versus why does this not work, I think is what is going to make a difference between the goods and the greats. Just doing a little bit of extra work that people aren't willing to do and understanding that, in anything in life, the mental work is going to be the hardest work that you can do.
If I say I'm going to do something, for sure I'm going to do it. And, your word doesn't mean anything to others if your word doesn't mean anything to yourself. That you have to believe yourself that it doesn't matter what came up, I have the thing to do. So I'm going to go do the thing that's on the schedule. When I make the MMA schedule, it's like I'm into February. We're filling up February and March of next year. I have some things booked all the way till the end of next year because some people are, Glover, Jake, Lyoto are there a lot. So those are filled in for all of 2026. But then the other people that will fill in, I don't have, we're a year out on the schedule, So if I'm not dead, I know exactly who I'll be training with, in 11 months from right now. And they'll be there too because that's the expectation of both of us. So I don't know, and when other people have these things like what they think is a commitment, what that means to a normal person is that if nothing better comes up or if nothing bad happens, if everything's as currently planned, I'll probably be there maybe, as long as nothing good or bad comes up that would would change my emotions on that day. And that's not even a man. It's not I have zero people like that around me anymore, zero. I'm a natural introvert anyway. So happy to be alone. I wish I spent more time alone. I don't spend enough time by myself. Some of my best moments in life are just by myself. So yeah, I don't want to be around anybody that doesn't behave that way. If you want to have better results than your competition, then you're either going to have to outthink or outwork your competition. So you have to be more, nothing more to say than that. If you're not smarter or harder working, and preferably both, then how would it magically happen? How would that possibly be true that you would have consistently better results than your competition?
Can't be dumb and lazy.
And a second thought related to that, I think to myself of when people come to me, including some of these people, say, "Oh, Derek, I've been blah, 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 blah. I did this and I did that and I worked so hard and I blah, blah, blah." And where are the results? I said, don't tell me all that. Just tell me what the results are, because the results tell the truth about your efforts and your intellect. Your results tell the truth about your efforts and your intellect. So if you're actually working hard, if that's true, and you're lacking results, then you're either stupid or you've been following someone else's stupid information. And you need to upgrade that intellectual model one way or another, have a better plan, have a better strategy, utilize your time more intelligently. Or if you're actually very intelligent and you still don't have results, then you've been a lazy. And one of those things are true. Because if you were very intelligent and very hardworking, you would have above average outcomes already. You would have, and then people come and they say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do. How many times come to you and say, I'm going to get my black belt, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that? I say, all right, that's cool, just do it then. Just do it then. And if they show up for a few years and they're doing the thing, pretty soon you start to believe, yeah, I think he's going to actually do the thing. It looks like he's going to do. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like when somebody does the thing and gets the outcome. looks like this one's actually going to do it. But the other, 2,000 dead souls that said this, they never did.
Like John won't even acknowledge you for like if you come in, you're like, I want to be a serious competitor. John won't like even acknowledge you for the first 6 months you're there, unless you're there every day. Like everyone comes in like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. John's like, cool. But he's always like, don't listen to what people say, watch what they do. And so if you say, oh, I want to be the next world champion, and then you're there 3 days a week, John is just like, this guy is a lost cause, like right from the beginning.
Any time that you spend, fantasizing about like some savior, somebody's coming to save you, somebody's going to do the thing for you, truly wasted time. Truly, like, stop fantasizing about somebody's going to save me, I'm going to get lucky, I'm going to win a lottery of some kind. You're going to, if you want to have, consistent results and you want to have, if you want those results to be sustainable, no, you just have to go do the things. You just have to be, like, the real shortcut is like 2 things. The only 2 shortcuts that exist is like, be resigned to do everything that's necessary and more, and learn from the best people that are doing something so you know that you're doing the right things and you're not wasting time with some mediocre or some. Because if you're working hard on the wrong things, you can be making your life worse. But if you're working hard on the right things and you're doing so consistently, like, success would be the normative outcome. Like, of course you would be more successful. Of course. So just any time squandered of like, oh, if only this thing happened, if only this thing happened, then I could be successful. If so-and-so, gave me a loan, then I could be successful. If so-and-so just did this or that for me, it'd be nothing to them and be so easy for them and be so important to me. And, I can't be successful because nobody will give me a break. No, give yourself a break. Find the right coaches or teachers that would help you and be resigned to do the things you're supposed to do. That's the shortcut to success. That's what you do. That's what you have to do.
Yeah, I mean, piggybacking off that, I think that the number one thing, is just extreme ownership. Like, I think that, when I was coming up through the ranks and competing, I was doing really well, against certain guys, and I was winning big things, but I would lose some things. And whenever I would lose, it was like, well, I won because that guy was bigger than me, or I won because he was an adult and I was 16, or or he won for this reason or that reason, I lost for this reason or that reason, or the ref screwed me. And then one day I was like, you know what? Like, in 10 years, like, no one's going to care like why you won or lost. They're just going to remember who the winners and the losers were. And so from that day forward, I was like, I'm just going to, if I lose, it's just I lost. It's on me and I should have been better. Maybe I didn't submit the guy and I ended up going to a decision and I lost the ref decision. And I'm like, oh, the ref screwed me on a decision. Well, it's like, well, why didn't you submit the guy? So ultimately, I think that just taking extreme ownership and having everything fall back on you, and understanding that if you didn't get the result you wanted, it was only because of you. Like, there was no one else that could have you, regardless of what happened, regardless of people who that may have you. I think just always trying to put yourself in a situation where you take ownership for your shortcomings and say, okay, even though this, and this happened, ultimately it was my fault, and how can I do better next time? In addition to that, I just think that generally having short-term and long-term goals and a vision of what you're trying to accomplish, rather than just showing up every day and just being like, oh, here I am, I think makes a huge difference. Like, when I first started training jiu-jitsu, I was 15, so it was just like, I show up and, here's how the day goes. But once I started having short-term goals for, okay, I'm working on this, and this for this amount of time, and then long-term goals, where do I want to be in a year? Where do I want to be in 3, 5, 10 years? And having a vision of what I was trying to do, both competitively and just for technical progression in the sport, I think was big. So I think a combination of extreme ownership in your successes or your failures, and having a vision of what you're trying to accomplish in a certain domain.
You watch this video all the way through, and that tells me you're dedicated to learning more and earning far above average outcomes in your life. Congratulations for that. But now it's time to take action. If you could have earned those results by yourself, you would have done it already. My head coach has opened up a few spots on his high-demand calendar for an in-person, one-on-one strategy session to help you. On this call, we'll give you the pragmatic advice that you can implement tonight to get laser-focused on the right metrics and leave mediocrity far behind in your past. Click that link right now in the description below and apply for your call immediately. Do it now.